Today is the day that I finally share what I eat every single day. So for information, I'm not doing any special diet like intermittent fasting, ketogenic diet, paleo diet. However, I follow one principle, and that is the energy balance. That means my calorie maintenance is about 2007. So I have to eat below 2007 and certain macros percentage, which I'm about to share with you in a short while, that helps me to lose weight or to maintain my size. So the first meal of the day is not really a solid meal, it's more like a liquid meal, right? And normally I start my first meal of the day like few hours after I'm awake, right? First thing first is my coffee, and normally I'll go to work, sit in front of my desk, plan ahead my content, and then only I will have my first liquid meal. So this is a regular whey protein. It's not isolate, it's not hydrosolate, right? Just standard whey will do. However, protein alone is not enough for me to kickstart my day. I'll normally add with some carbohydrates. Here with my favorite instant oats. And if you're wondering how does protein and oats match together, this is how I do it. So how it works is I'm gonna mix whey protein. I normally take 1.5 scoop. It's about 35 grams of protein and 70 grams of instant oat. Put it over here, add some water and stir. To get started in dieting, the best way to keep track is actually own a mini weighing scale. So this food scale is very important to let you know that how much you are taking. As example, food like oats, rice, or even meat, sometimes you are not sure how much you are eating. And oatmeal, I would normally go for 70 grams, dry, right? So I would like to use a protein scoop, 70 cc scoop. So one scoop is about 30 grams, 2.5 scoop. It's 50 grams, go a little bit more. Right, 72 grams. And it's not necessarily must be 70 grams strict. It can be 72 grams, it can be 75 grams, as long as nothing too much and too little. I would say a good guideline is about 5 to 10, not more than 5 to 10 grams of difference. You should be safe. So next, gonna add 1.5 serving of whey. So whey protein is very direct. Just go by scoop. You don't have to weight your protein. So 1 scoop and a half scoop. Just estimation, right? And after that, add some water and you gotta stir them. Now here's the tip, before I add water, sometimes it will end up a little bit chunky. They do not mix well. So before I add water, I like to, just stir them out a little bit. So when the time I add water, they will dissolve, they will mix more evenly, more consistent. Start with little water, stir a little bit, and slowly add from there. Right, so this is my meal number 1. You can choose to put into your fridge and eat later, or you can eat them immediately. And if you notice why I use teaspoon, because teaspoon, in my opinion, it makes me fuller because I have to eat more. I have to eat more times. When I use bigger spoon, I have a fewer serving, right? It's just a psychology thing. So this is one of the strategies you can implement right away. This tastes pretty good. Well, the taste is depending on your flavor and of your protein. Now, substitution. What if you don't have whey protein? You can always opt for egg whites and egg yolks. It's fine. So to get about this amount of protein, this is about 45 grams of protein over here. You can eat about 10 egg whites and 2 yellows. And this gives you the similar number of the protein. And additional, you can add some oats. Maybe you can cook with hot water, add some raisin. Some raisin will do, and it will be fine. So normally after my first meal, I'll do my workout, and because it is so light, protein and oats, I can do my workout immediately, but I'll give just like half an hour for digestion. So right after my training, I'll normally have a bigger meal, which is high in carbs and protein. And this meal is my favorite beef spaghetti tomato pasta. So for my intake, I will cook a little bit more. Right here, this is about 150 grams of pasta or spaghetti dry. So for spaghetti or any carb sauce, it's very important to know how much you are taking. So 150 grams, this gives me about 100 grams of carbohydrates. Now this looks massive, can be really full, but I find that full, right, makes me more satisfied. And you can even split this meal. You cook now and you can split it to meal 2 and meal 3. It's like 2 meals cooked in one, so you don't have to cook so many times. And for the protein, this is minced beef. This is about 90% lean, 10% fat. It's not the leanest of all, but it gives me a nice flavoring. And cooking with tomato, spaghetti, pasta, you can find this sauce anywhere in the grocery. Make sure it is not high in sugar. So for this, I normally go with 1 cup. So I just want to put it here to make sure that everything is correct. Normally I use 2 big spoons of this. That's about 150 grams. Yep. So that's pretty much all you need right here. Next step is to cook them. Next, water is boiling. Just put water. Alright. While waiting for the spaghetti to cook, we're going to cook this. Right here, I have air fryer. Air fryer is kind of for lazy people to cook, right? And one thing good about air fryer is like it's like frying and it drains all the oil. So what if you don't have an air fryer? You can always cook your beef, chicken or whatever with pan. It's require a little bit of work because pan you need to heat up, maybe put a little bit of oil. But for my case, air fryer, it did wonder for me. So it turns a little bit more white than previously, and you see, it's kind of soft. Texture is super soft now, right? As you bring it up, it's like they are falling, and that means they are almost ready. Yeah. Put the sauce on top of it and stir. Now this is actually not the actual step. The real step is you actually need to cook again one more time together with the pasta sauce. But this is the lazy way, the easy to prepare way. So this is my meal 2, and it can be meal 2 and meal 3. I actually only have half, so saving it, this is going to be my meal 3. So cook once, eat a few times. This is where you actually save time. You can even cook in bulk in the morning, cook a bigger meal and split it into like 3 to 4 meals. The next meal, also known as either is meal 3 or either is meal 4 and 5, depending how much you eat earlier. If you split into 2 servings, this will be meal 4. So here once again is another big portion. You can split into 2 meals, but for me normally I eat it in only 1 single meal. So here is a chicken leg, boneless chicken leg, marinated with a little bit of basil leaf, some soy sauce, and you can use pretty much any chicken as long as they are fresh. But I want to show you what I normally do, and that is using flour to turn this chicken to like a fried chicken. To get started is you can use any type of flour. You can use whole grain flour. For me, I use a pre-made flour, not the healthiest thing. Put it on top of the flour. Should you go skinless chicken? Well, if you are on a cutting, you want to lose weight faster, ditch the skin. Because skin, if you remove the skin, you can save about extra 100 calories. Right? For me, I love skin. So I think that it's very important for me to have a little bit of something that I like in my diet. So as simple as just like this. And the next thing is I'm going to air fry it again, or you can pan cook, oven grill is fine. Once again, with my air fryer, you can really tell that I love my air fryer. In addition, other than protein, carbs, fats, this is crucial. Vegetable, greens. So for my greens, I prefer broccoli, lettuce, white onions, some capsicum, some cucumber, and beetroots. Yeah, it requires some time to prepare. But all these greens is packed with micronutrition that will help you to be healthier. And other than that, do you know that greens will actually help you to lose weight faster because of thermic effect of food? It is one of the highest thermic effect of food. That means when you eat vegetables, in order for your body to digest the vegetables, you also burn calories. So vegetables, protein, some carbs, some fats, this is what I call the balanced diet. Time's up. Let's check out my magical deep fried chicken without deep fry. Okay, so this is one of my last meal, also known as meal number 3 or meal number 4 or 5. So once again, you can split into 2 servings. Eat with vegetables. You can just eat it with your favorite vegetable as a side. One thing I like about this is it tastes really crispy. So good. Tastes exactly like fried chicken or even better. I'm not kidding. So this is why I can eat this all year round without getting tired of dieting. Like I said, I'm not the healthiest person. This is with chicken skin, but it depends on you. If you can't eat this, you don't want to eat this way, it is fine. Just cook with fresh chicken leg or chicken breast. And I don't like chicken breast, so this is the reason why I choose chicken leg. So the nutrition value is each chicken leg, right? Each part is about my palm size, but smaller a little bit. It's about 30 grams of protein, right? 0 carbs for the chicken, and it's about 20 grams of fat for each. So both here will be 60 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat, including, if you include the bread, the flour, add 15 grams of carbohydrates for each. So both here, there are 30 grams of carbs. It's not 0 carbs, there are some carbs. So for vegetables, I don't really count calories for vegetables, unless when I use dressing, then I count the dressing. It's not necessary, you must air fry. You can use oven grill. Once again, you can use oven grill, pan grill, pan fry. This is so good. One of my favorite meal of the day, right? And here, I can finish this. It seriously keeps me want to keep going. But like I said, you can split this into 2 meals. Right, so same goes to the vegetables and keep them. This is meal for the next meal, meal 5 or meal 4. So that's all for my solid meal, and if I plus minus a calculation, I basically still have a little bit more calories left, and that is 400 calories. So I have 2 options. Number 1, either I just call it a day. If I'm feeling full, I'll just call it a day. In overall, I'm just taking about 2001 calories. But in my opinion, 2001 calorie is a little bit too low, especially people like me. I use a lot of energy. And if you pay attention on the protein intake right now, my protein intake is still pretty much moderate, not high yet. It's about 160 grams plus minus. So in this situation, I will top up 1 more meal in order to hit 2005 calories. Now this 1 more extra meal is known as the free zone meal. That means you can eat pretty much whatever you want as long as you feed in knowing what macros that works for you, that you need, and your calories. You shouldn't eat too much to go above your calorie maintenance. If not, you won't be able to lose weight. So every day I have this little war in my head on what to eat in order to fulfill the 400 calories, which is something good because this gives you a little bit of freedom. So I can either have my protein oats meal again, that's about 400 over calories, my beef patty, 1 fried chicken, or reward myself a little bit of this. This 120 ml is about 260 calories. And if I eat this and I get myself another protein bar, that's about 2005 calories in total. So I got a choice. So same goes to you, right? It's very important to know your maintenance at first. If you still have a little bit of free zone, then that's a reward for you. But you find that you are hitting the limit, you don't have any more allowance, or you often overeat, then what you can do is maybe you can restrict your feeding time, also known as the intermittent fasting. As earlier I mentioned, I don't practice intermittent fasting. However, my eating pattern are actually similar to intermittent fasting, and that is the first thing in the morning I just have my coffee, and then maybe 2 hours or 3 hours later I just have my liquid meal, right? Basically I'm pushing my breakfast a little bit later of the day, so therefore I have shorter eating time and I feel full easier, especially if I want to combine the meal 2 and meal 3 together, which is the pasta, and meal 4 and meal 5 together in 1 meal, and it's very high in satiety. So now the question is, how can you find your maintenance Everyone is different. The heavier you are, the more calories that you need. And if you exercise very frequent, you also have the privilege to eat higher calorie a little bit. So the rule of thumb to find out your calorie intake is very simple. Use your body weight times 35. Now, this is not 100% accurate, but this is just a rough guideline. It can be lower. Maybe if you are a person, you can easily gain weight, you just take your body weight in kg times 32 instead. Work from there. That total number is your maintenance. And then from there, if you eat below your maintenance, you will lose weight. Eat above, you will gain weight. Once again, this is all about trial and error. And how to count your calories. I find this app useful. This is my Fitness Pal. I've been using this app for almost like a decade. And initially, when you start dieting, so I recommend you to invest yourself a food scale. Might not sound practical in the long run, but at least, hey, to get you started, to roughly know how much pasta you're eating, how heavy your food, your weight, right? So that's how you get started. So the biggest question is, if you eat like me, will you get a six-pack abs? The answer is no, because my diet and your diet, my calorie intake and your calorie intake might be different. But one thing in common is, if you eat right, most of your meal is high in protein, some carbs, some fats, a lot of vegetables, and eating under your calorie maintenance for quite some time. Yes, this requires some time. The answer is yes, you will transform. This is how I transformed from my physique from 2010 to 2011, when I've been lifting since 2008, but I didn't get any result from 2008 to 2010. I just got fat because of one thing, diet. I just eat freely and I didn't get the results that I want. Once I start committed, at first it's going to be hard, but once I started, I stick to it, and that's how I changed my fitness life. And until today, I still haven't lost my abs yet. Even sitting, you still can see my abs. Thank you for watching. I wish you all the best. Peace.